irregularities have been committed in terms of this deal. So, and then also structurally, our secretaries were what you call chairman of the companies. We have done away with that. So what we have done is we have dismantled the whole architecture of corruption that was there. So we want to start from that basis. Okay, so, and then we've started, everything will be tender on the basis of tender. There's a catch though. Other thing we are encouraging is that you can do things of your own. So we are promoting, instead of IPPs, we are now promoting merchant power policy. Under the merchant power policy, the government does not give you an off-take contract, but you decide to sell to whoever is interested. And then we let you use our infrastructure, the transmission infrastructure, distribution infrastructure, by paying a wheeling charge. And if you want to do that, you don't have to go through competitive bidding. The same is with what you call renewable energy project. If you have a buyer of your own, if you want to use it for yourself, then you don't have to come to us. There is no need for a tender. What you call competitive tender will come if you are selling the electricity to the government, because that's a public money and it's a trust, and we cannot betray the trust that has been done in the past year. So that's what we are doing. And then the other thing that I would like to mention is that the RE policy, we are revising it, and then I will invite experts like Professor Rizwan and others for their input. And before this will be finalized with their inputs. And then RE tender, I've already mentioned that we are issuing 40 such tenders. And also we are in Jamalpur, we are creating a park-like thing, solar park. So in the difference between the tender and this project will be that in case of the tenders, you are responsible for procuring the land, you are responsible for the transmission and distribution connecting to the. But in the case of park, what we will do is we'll provide you the land, and also we'll provide you the transmission and build the necessary distribution and transmission infrastructure, and then we'll auction it. So whoever quotes the lowest here, we will. The biggest challenge is to how to bring down. The IMF is after me, say that raise gas prices. They're easy solution. Raise electricity prices. I can't even go to invitations. My friend's wife said your electricity bills are too high, and then your gas supply is irregular. And under those circumstances, I'll get beaten up by my friends and relatives if I raise what you call electricity or gas prices. Which was, by the way, the other thing I mentioned is that it was a sweet deal. So they would have this extortionary power tariff. Then so there was this BERC Act, I forgot to mention. They inserted a clause in there, 34A. They said the government could set up their prices. And they did at will, 6-7 times in a year. So that's where we are. We have done away with that. We said that no, government will not fix power energy tariff. BRC will do it by listening to the government, by listening to the consumer, by listening to all the other stakeholders. So we have done that. So, okay. So please understand that we are trying to do a certain thing. Our primary goal is to bring the costs of procurement of electricity, the cost of procurement of gas down. So that's what we are. The thing that I was whispering to the Saudi ambassador is not that to make some personal arrangement, but said that please supply us some LNG at a cheaper price. So that's what I was whispering into his ears. So that's what we are trying to do. So when IMF comes, so he said that, look, You should not be worried how we adjust our things, whether by raising the prices or reducing the government subsidy. So we are taking measures so that the subsidy, and we have done a lot of technical things. So for example, I went to visit NLDC. So they are supposed to have merit order dispatch, meaning that you buy from the low cost supplier and then move on to higher cost. But they can't do that in some places. I don't know whether it is intentional or, so they have these pockets where, the transmission infrastructure is lacking or the distribution infrastructure is lacking. So they have to, take electricity from the high cost source. So we are trying to. So all our efforts now are directed to bring down the power cost and energy cost so that, we can reduce the subsidy. The subsidy amounts is staggering. The LNG imports so we import LNG. Just a minute, let me look at my yes. Give me a minute. So in 2024, for LNG imports, we need 54,927 crore taka. And then if you sell that gas, we'll get 44,402 crore taka. And the subsidy requirement will be 10,000 crore taka. So that's what we are aiming. And I say the thing that I was whispering to Professor Fauzul Imam, that we are going to Bhola. I don't have any holidays. Thursday, Friday, every day is a work day now. So we are going to Bhola, and I have invited Professor Fauzul Imam. Hassan, please note that Professor Imam has kindly consented to join us in the Bhola trip. The purpose of, I have also been to Begamganj to look at the gas exploration. So we want to expedite gas exploration. So that's how, we can increase domestic supply. Unfortunately, there has not been a major discovery. So if we could get, about even 2 CF of additional gas, the situation could readily impose. So we have a plan to exploration of 50 wells, gas exploration wells, by 2025, and then in 25, 26 we have another 100. So the ability of BAPEX is limited. They have only 5 rigs, so only they can do as much. So that's why we'll invite IOCs and others, to participate in this oil and drilling process, and then so we'll otherwise it is beyond the capability of BAPEX, so we'll invite them. So we are, as Professor Fauzul Imam has lamented, that we had not emphasized gas exploration in the past, both onshore and offshore. But the offshore also we are opening in December. So please understand that it is a priority of this government, to increase domestic gas supply. There is no mistake about it. And then also the other thing, as I said, we are going full throttle on renewable energy. I have some of you have mentioned I am an advocate of renewable energy. I was talking about renewable energy when it didn't become fashionable. Way back in 98, 99, I have been advocating. I had debates with UNDP representative, then at that time Charles Larsimont. He said, no, you are pushing this high cost here to the poor consumers of Bangladesh. I said, look, your fossil fuels are cheaper because of the trillions of dollars that has gone into investment. And if we can make the same kind of investment in renewable energy, solar and wind and other technology, renewable energy will become competitive. Fortunately, at that time I made a foolish argument without knowing the details, but now it seems that I have been vindicated. My foolishness at that time has now been vindicated. So I think the last point about net metering, I've noted the point about the because I'm not only on that side, but also we have an old age home at Shoilan, Dhamrai. So we are doing some year work as well. So in that we have this solar home system, 7 or 8 kilowatt peak solar home system. And I know the running around I had to do to get the net metering work, being a former power secretary myself. So please understand this is an open government. In the last meeting with FICCI, I also mentioned this. You see, usually government assume power. We have not assumed power, we have assumed responsibility. There is a difference between these two. And also every government that comes, whether in the US or UK, they have to cater to some vested interests, people who finance their campaign. For example, Elon Musk is now pumping money into Trump campaign, not for any philanthropic reason, but to gain his pound of flesh at the end. So we have no such vested interest too. So our only commitment is to 1,000 or so people who have embraced martyrdom, who has died not by trying to run away, but by facing the bullets. 30,000 or so people that are nursing their wounds in different hospitals, and then 500 or so people who lost their eyesight. And we are working to fulfill their dreams. That is the only constituency that we care for. And so please help us. It's an open government. And also, as I said, we have no selected bidder. I told my ministry that I don't have a relative, I don't have a friend when it comes to doing business. But if somebody says that he or she is my friend or relative or whatever, ask them to visit my home, have a cup of tea or shingara or whatever my wife can give. Thank you very much.